Today's topic is review of power electronics components. Before studying HVDC transmission, we have to understand the basics and the review and history of power electronic devices. To start with the basic components, the basic components of power electronic devices are diode, SCR, track, GTO, power transistors, and power MOSFETs. These are the conventional components which are being used which are being in use for a very longer time, and now we are switching to modern devices. The modern devices are mainly, here I have listed some. Those are IGBTs, static induction transistors, static induction thyristors, and MOS control thyristors. So the upper list are of the conventional components and the lower are the modern devices. Now what is the basic function of these power electronic devices is that it is basically all of these devices are switch and they are slightly different from each other in spite of being a switch. Most of the time we call it static power electronic devices. It is being called static because it works as these components works as a switch without any mechanical movement in them, so they are called static. Before these devices, we were using glass valves as a switches for our electronics applications. We were using glass valves, and later in 1970s we get introduced with these power electronic devices, and through various stages of developments, now we are using modern power electronic devices. So these above listed are the power electronic devices which were these were earlier commonly earlier in use. Now these lower GHIJ, these are IGBT, SIT, and SIT. These are the modern devices. So the power electronics components here listed are the basic components of your converters which we are using in HVDC transmission. These are the basic building blocks. So before studying HVDC transmission, we have to study these basic components individually. Now if we are talking about HVDC, then we have to understand converters. So basically there is a four type of converters which are being used in our HVDC transmission system. These converters are, from the diagram here we can see, this is AC, this is DC, this is again DC, and this is AC. If we are converting a AC supply into DC supply, then there is a need of rectifiers. Those converters will be called rectifiers. And if we are converting a DC to DC, if DC into DC conversion is done, then what is being changed? From DC to DC conversion, a voltage level is changed. So the device which is being used to convert DC to DC are called chopper. From DC to DC conversion, as we know, there is no frequency in DC, so frequency cannot be changed. So only voltage level is being changed from DC to DC using chopper. So those converter which convert from DC to DC are called choppers, and those converters which converts AC to DC, then these are called rectifiers. Here there is a major change, that the frequency, there is some value of frequency for AC, that value of frequency for AC will get suppressed to 0 when converted to DC. So the rectifier will have an option of changing frequency as well as voltage level. Now these are the two converters which we have discussed, rectifiers and choppers. Now coming to third type of converter. Now the third type of converter is which we known as inverter. It converts DC to AC. Inverter converted DC to AC. So what is the purpose here is that it will create a zero frequency to a desired frequency, and mainly it convert to power frequency of 50 hertz. So it convert frequency, or it generate a frequency, as well as it can change the voltage level of a supply. So we have a two parameter being changed here. Now after that, coming to third type of conversion, or can say the third type of converter, that is AC to AC. If we are talking about AC to AC converters, then there is a two type of change being considered here. One, if the frequency is being changed, if this source have a 50 hertz and it is being changed to 60 hertz, say, if this type of conversion is being done, then the device which is converting it is often called cycloconverters. And in most of the cases, if the frequency is being changed from AC to AC conversion, it will be called cycloconverters. But if from AC to AC conversion frequency is not being changed and only voltage level is being changed, then it will be called a regulator. So that converter will be called regulator, which will only change the voltage level rather than frequency, and those converter which will convert frequency as well as voltage level will be called cycloconverters. So here is a review of various converters. So we will mainly deal with two converters here. One will be the rectifier and another will be inverter. So the HVDC is mainly dealing with these two converters. We will deal with these two, but comparatively less, because we have to study HVDC transmission, and if we are studying HVDC transmission, then we have to deal with AC to DC and DC to AC conversion in our transmission links. So this is the various conversion systems. Now coming to other topic, that is advantage of modern day converters. Now, as I have earlier told, that earlier we use a valve, glass valve, in converters. In conventional converters, old converters, we use glass valve. The size of glass valve are comparatively very high. If the current handling is high, the size of the valve get increased. The size of the valve was directly proportional to current they are handling. So the electronic circuitry was somewhat very big in size. Now with the introduction of solid state devices, there are various advantages we are getting here. First and foremost, most dominating advantage was that it was it is compact. The modern day converters are compact because the solid state devices are of very small size. Their current handling capacity doesn't affect very much on their size. The second is reliability. Modern day converters are more reliable. It means there is a less chances of failure. So the size of the device, the size of the converter is being small, it being designed small due to compactness of the solid state components, and secondly, the chances of failure is less in case of your solid state devices. So these are the first two advantage. Other is durable and robust. Durable and robust means they are less prone to failure due to change in temperature, change in moisture content in the air, or maybe due to some mechanical vibration of the device. Earlier, the glass valve were very sensitive to mechanical vibrations and change in temperature, etc. But these modern devices are very durable and robust in comparison to those conventional or say older glass valves. Now, the fourth advantage is flexible. Flexible means there is a chances of increasing the rating or decreasing the rating of the converters by simply adding these components in series or in parallel. So there is a flexibility in the current handling of the converters. Now the fifth advantage associated with this is completely controllable. Completely controllable means we have now we have a gate control devices. So the on and off conditions of the devices can be controlled, and we have a special circuitry for these control that makes it more reliable, more efficient system. And the last one, the advantage of this is that with the development in technologies and research and mass production, these solid state devices which were earlier they were very costlier, but nowadays they are getting cheaper, so it is easier to install them. So the above advantages are the advantages of modern day converters over your conventional converters which were using various conventional methods. Now, on the basis of their semiconductor layers, solid state devices is mainly divided into three categories. The first category is two-layer devices. Two-layer devices comprises of power diodes. These are two-layer devices. Then, on the basis of their semiconductor layers and junctions, there is a three-layer devices. Those are the transistors, and another category is of four-layer devices, that is of thyristors. So as we are increasing the layers, the number of junctions is increasing, as well as we have more controllable devices. From this to this, the controllability is increasing. If we are talking about diode, transistor, thyristor, the applicability of the thyristor is somewhat more than transistor and diode. So this is the basic introduction of the power electronic devices which we are going to use in our HVDC transmission. Hope you have understand it well. Thank you.